Hi there. This is supposed to be kind of an advertising video for what I think is Central Europe's most underrated tourist region. I will tell you a little bit later in this video what exactly this region is, but of course you can do some geo-guessing yourself. Just a silly attempt to build up some suspense. Okay, I am in one of the main towns of this region, and let me just walk and show you around a little bit. You can see there are some quite impressive historical buildings here and quite a nice park. So some people say that I got a talent for showing the worst places or presenting places in the worst kind of way. I hope that this isn't true. I hope that these people are just spoiled by fake Instagram videos and things like that. So what makes this region great in my point of view? I would say it's got everything a tourist region needs. It's got culture, so you can find buildings here dating back to Roman times. Also, most of it is from the 17th, 18th, 19th century. It's got great food, from street food to fine dining. It's also a wine region, so there are some really world-class wineries around here. This is something few people know, just like many of the interesting facts of this region here. And of course it's also got nature. You can go cycling, do some interesting hikes. There are hills and everything. And another very important thing from my point of view is, I'm not sure if you can already see it, it's got water. It's got lots of water, and it's also got some nice beaches. So I'm gonna show you one of the beaches a bit later. Currently, of course, it is the beginning of April, so main season is in June, July and August. But I think you can also enjoy the water without sitting at the beach. Look at that. Neumann Janusz was here. This guy is better known as John von Neumann. If you don't know who that is, just Google it. This guy is worth knowing, just like some other guys who have been here. Let's see. We must be close to... Yeah, here it is. That's what I wanted to show you. Richard Feynman. And over there Benoit Mandelbrot. So all of these guys have been here, and I will tell you the story in another video, but I just want to tell you that these are really some of my, let's say, intellectual heroes. Also, I don't like the word hero that much, so they all have been here in this underrated tourist region. Not sure if they have been here as tourists, but they obviously liked this place. The center of this town is really full of parks and these beautiful villas from mainly the 19th century. This one is also a cafe. And here is another one. Just look at this wood carving here on the facade. And right next to it, look at this one. Both of these seem to be from the 18th century. Just cycled a couple of kilometers and arrived at what is probably the most famous place here in this region. So this chapel on the top of that hill above the lake is really spectacular. Cycled just one more kilometer from this church on top of the hill, and before I show you one of the natural attractions of this region, let me just tell you what region I am talking about. So I am in Hungary and I am at the northern shore of Lake Balaton. So the region is not just Lake Balaton, it is specifically the northern shore, the region between the town of, let's say, Balaton Almádi in the northeast and, let's say, Szigliget in the southwest. And this is what I think is the most interesting, the most variable region in around Lake Balaton. It has much more to offer than, say, the southern shore. In all aspects, say, culture, nature, food, wine. There are lots of hiking trails as well. You know, when you look at these signs, they tell you on which hiking trail you are. Now, why do I think that this region is underrated? It is actually not underrated by anyone, by everyone. There are actually lots of tourists which come here, but the vast majority of these are local tourists, which are from the surrounding cities. Many of them come from the capital, Budapest, which is about 120-140 kilometers away. So these people, of course, know about this region and they come here. Many of them have bought holiday or weekend houses. So there is tourism, but there are very few foreign tourists from other countries inside Europe. And what are the reasons? I think there are various reasons, and I want to mention two of them. First of all, it hasn't always been like that. There was a time, let's say in the 1990s, where lots of tourists from Germany, the Netherlands and so on came here. But the main reason they came here was, of course, it's a nice place, but it has been much cheaper than, say, Italy, Spain, southern France. So one of the main reasons they came here was because it was cheap at that time. This has changed, especially during the past, let's say, 5 years. The prices are now almost as high as in Germany. You can still go dining a little bit cheaper, but not much. So it's maybe 70-80% of the prices you pay in Germany. So it has become much more expensive, but this has not only disadvantages, because the quality has also become much better. So when it was all cheap, you didn't really get great food. I mean, it was okay. It wasn't bad, but at that time you didn't really have a chance to have some high quality dining experience. And this has changed. Also, the quality of accommodation has improved vastly. So this is one reason it is no longer cheap. Okay, just look at that. Isn't that a spectacular place? You can see part of the lake over there, another part of the lake over here. So we are still on the peninsula of Tihany, and this kind of swamp or lake is called the Külső tó, the outer lake, and it is actually a volcanic crater. So there has been volcanism, I think it was about 8 million years ago. Could be 10 million, could be 6 million, but around that time period. And yeah, this is the remains of the crater. Okay, there are some more rocks over here, let's just go up there. And while I'm walking, let me tell you another reason why this region is not so popular. It is, the reputation of the Hungarian government is not that great. And actually that's for a reason, but I don't really want to talk about politics. But when you watch German television, and probably it's the same in other European countries, you only hear bad things about Hungary, because the Hungarian Prime Minister in most cases has a completely different opinion from the rest of the European Union, and that's why whenever you hear something in the media about Hungary, it's just what atrocious bad things the Hungarian Prime Minister has done, that he's a friend of Putin and whatever. So to be honest, I don't really like that guy, but I have an issue with the fact that, wait a minute, okay, just checking if I was filming, that you only hear bad things about this country, and many people actually say when the country has a problematic government, I don't want to travel to that country, which I think is absolutely wrong. So in one of my previous videos I mentioned that I would like to travel to Russia, and last month I've been to Vietnam, and this country also has a, let's say, bit problematic government, and Germany of course also has its problems. So this is something you shouldn't mix up, but many people do, unfortunately. So these rock formations here and the sight from here is really, I would say, almost magical. And as you can see, nobody around. I mean, okay, it's not the weekend, it might be different in the weekend, but this place is really easy to reach. So you don't have to hike kilometers. It is right next to this town where I've been. Oh, by the way, I didn't tell you the name of the town. So the town with the church on the hill, that is Tihany, and the place where I started the video is Balatonfüred. It is the beginning of April right now, and maybe in case you are planning your summer vacation, you might consider spending some time here at the northern shore of Lake Balaton, which is really a great place. So I have only shown you a very tiny little part of it. There is much more to see, and I think there's something in it for everyone. So no matter if you like sports, if you like food, whether you have children or maybe dogs, it's just, it is not really, so there are few things that are really spectacular. I mean, the church I showed you before, and maybe this place are about the most spectacular things. So there is nothing like, let's say, Mount Everest or the pyramids of Gizeh or something like that. There is not one single spectacular point, but the mix of it makes the difference. And what's also important is that it's a really friendly place. So this is not mass tourism. There are many small family-owned shops and restaurants and hotels, so it's just a nice, friendly place. But it doesn't have these world famous great attractions. But actually that is not necessarily what you need, or at least what I need in my vacation. Okay, I think that's about it. Maybe one more thing. Are there any caveats, any things you should take care of? Maybe one thing, and that is opening times of restaurants and shops and so on. So because most people here, most tourists, only come here at the weekend, many shops and restaurants are closed during the week. And some of them are even closed off-season. So some of the, especially the beach restaurants, are only are only open during the main season, which is June, July, August. But if you look around, you will also find places which are open during the week or even in winter. For example, in the town where I stay, there is a beach restaurant which is open even during the winter time, at least 5 days a week. So this is one thing you should take care of. Language is actually not really a problem. Most people here speak at least enough English to communicate, and many of them, especially the older people, also speak some German. What about getting around? So for me it's easy. I normally come here with my car and get around either by car or with a bicycle. So bicycle is really a great option. So the whole region has a length of maybe 60 kilometers. So when you are staying somewhere in the middle, you can basically get everywhere by bike if you want to do that. Otherwise you can take the car. There is also public transportation. There are buses and trains. So there is one train line which goes all around the lake. And if you know how to do it, how to buy tickets and so on, which is actually not difficult, and if you know when these buses and trains are going, this is also quite a good option. But of course you have to adapt to the time schedule, and normally they don't offer transportation at night. So the last train goes about I think 9 o'clock in the evening, and after that you're stuck. There are very few taxis here, so this is not the best option. That's it for today. Maybe I'm gonna show you, oh no, that's not it. I'm gonna show you some scenes where I have been dining during the past few days, and this will be the end of the video, I think. So I already say bye bye and hope to see you next time, and maybe see you here in Hungary at the northern shore of Lake Balaton.
Csak úgy lehet küldeni egymásnak. Igen. Kábészt. Szerintem ki?
Yes.